Don't need to move anything. Don't need to move anything here. Because I'm going to move. I'm going to move. Not easy to see, but there's the tunnel.
You laughed too. I thought they were just going to snarl at you. I didn't. No. You're sticking your tongue out? Yeah. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh my goodness. No, I just started. You're not expecting me to start? No, I love it. He's coming up now. I need to record this. Yeah, I'm going to do the famous train. Maybe you should pretend he did the reaction.
This is a lovely ride along the shores of Llyn Padarn. View from the terminus, and that is the end of the line, but it used to go all the way down to the coast at Port de Norwich. Can you hear that idiot on a motorbike over there? And we will now make our way. That's Yr Wyddfa's up there in the mist where you can't see it. What a lovely little railway. There's some old track work here, although this is the picnic stop they call it. The train stops here for 5 minutes so you can get out and have a look, but there's this building here that confuses me, and there's extra track hidden in the grass. Was this a loading stage? And am I looking at what was a very small quarry at one time that would have sent its slate down here to be loaded on the train? It has the look of a worked out quarry about it. Interesting. But I'm going to take a walk over the track, seeing as we've got a few minutes. It is a lovely little railway. Can you imagine going all the way down to Port de Norwich there? And I'm going to frame it through the trees here, but up there is Yr Wyddfa, Mount Snowdon, hidden in the mist, so if we'd gone up there today we wouldn't have said anything either. But again, I need to do some research. Was this a man-made lake? Now here's the thing, from what I've been able to find out, what we're looking at here was once the lower half of one of the great de Norwich slate quarries. And the lake was formed, they regard it as a natural lake, but one could argue that if man hadn't fiddled with the landscape, it wouldn't have been there. When they closed the quarries back in 1958, all that lower half naturally flooded with the water that came down the mountainside. And so the lake that we see here today was formed over a period of years. So I'll leave it up to you to decide whether it was man-made or a natural lake. Man certainly created the conditions for it, let's put it that way, which might explain a bit later on. I mentioned about where the railway or tramway goes over the line and then appears to be where I thought on riding the train it was dumped into the lake. But of course, if that was then the lower part of the quarry, all that stuff was where it was transported down to the lower half of the quarry. So not dumping it in the lake, but actually moving materials from one part of the quarry to another. Oh, you never thought there was so much in it, did you? What's the information here? I don't know whether I can zoom in on it there, but there is the remains of Llyn Castle, Castell Llyn Padarn. Built by Llywelyn. Oh, that's very interesting, that. Very interesting indeed. What's not obvious from here is how that incline twists and turns on its way up the hill. And at each stage, those trucks are shunted onto another piece, lifted up onto the next one. It must have took a while to get them to come down the hill. But that's a very interesting piece of history preserved there.
The rest of the train.
Now, little Llyn Padarn, named after the castle. been to collect 2 more carriages because Caledonian Travellers seem to have bought up the whole train almost. So, well, there's 4 coaches worth of them. So he's gone and got another couple of carriages, and here he comes.
Have you found it?
Yeah, he's looking at the local exhibition here.
But of course, first, he needs water.
Ze doen dat water dus op de ketel liggen, waardoor het ook koud water. Die nou dit in de ketel had geflikkerd. En dan had je zeg maar gewoon klaar geweest.
I think it's brilliant they're speaking Welsh.
And listening back, that remark sounded dreadfully condescending. I certainly didn't mean it like that. What I meant was I'm very, very pleased to see the national language being spoken so fluently in this place. One thing I found unusual was they have a local dialect, and from what I can gather, even people from Carnarvon can't understand some of what these chaps are saying. It must have been handed down year on year from the quarry workers, that's all I can say, but it's lovely to hear Welsh spoken. Cymru and Beef.
Wel, grasa, grasa, bod nhw'n mynd on gyntaf yn ormod o gap y fyna, dwi eisiau gwneud tân o le. Gidio I 3 hynna pan da wneud nhw ar hom yn ormod o gap. Gidio I di hynna os di isio gweld. Gormod o gap sydd yna le.
I'd wait for it back. Oh, it smells lovely. I love that smell. Hello. Hey, wave like the Queen.
You're in Wales.
Wales.
Well, she still owns Wales. It doesn't matter where you're at. Oh, it's so cool. I love that smell. I can taste it.
Right, now we'll try again. I don't know if this is an old wagon turntable, but here you've obviously got where some of the little lines will come in from the various parts of the quarry. This is another incline, a bit straighter this one, and you can see how the slate used to be brought down. This one less intricate than the other one, but even so, busy in its time. This was where it would have all happened at one time. Now, I wondered whether this was where, you see the gates here, where the Padarn Railway would have gone, carried on through underneath that tunnel and out the other side to where the hydroelectric plant and that is now at the top end of the quarries. But this is where all the action happened, the main offices and what have you, and works, and that's what we still have today, is the National Slate Museum of Wales. It's got an interesting place. Hopefully we're going to have a look at that at some time if we have the time.
I just want to draw your attention to this clock above the entrance to the museum. It takes 2 men 10 minutes every week to wind this clock. The clock face is of course slate, and this clock is so accurate that this is the clock the railway use for making sure their trains depart on time. Good, isn't it?
I'm just trying to work out what the gauge of this is, because if it's 1, 2, it isn't 3 foot, and the original Padarn Railway was 3 foot gauge, I understand. So even so, it's an interesting little network that would meet down here. A whistle, it says. I don't know quite what went on in this little bit, but it's certainly an interesting little area. The line would come in here, and it would meet the other line here where the line of stones comes in and out onto the track as it is nowadays. This is the main station building for the railway as it is nowadays. I'm certainly looking at the width of the track here. I mean, this is pretty much the normal 2 foot, oh yeah. I'm wondering if this is 2'3" gauge, you know.
It's not. It's 1 foot 11.5, the same as a lot of other narrow gauge railways.
My mind has gone a complete blank. I always thought it was 1 foot 11 3, you know, the normal narrow gauge that most people have, but it almost seems like 2'3". I'll read up and let you know. Live filming, your mind goes like a complete anyway, time for a coffee. Just had a very interesting demonstration of how to split slate, but couldn't really film it. You see how the lines come through here, all in the different divisions. Look at that steam crane over there. All in the different divisions, and here they're all powered by probably a single steam engine, stationary engine. It would come through here and have the logs and that, and pit props and what have you loaded up. And then that way there'd be the foundry, engineering workshops. A bit like a modern day conveyor belt, everything would go through in an order. So it says here all machinery powered from a line shaft running through and above the workshop spaces. Although I thought it was steam, but it's not. Water power. Ah, so they had a water wheel. Very interesting. I wonder if
This way the power hall comes.
there's a water wheel. The water wheel is this way, but probably, yeah, it's too high to go up there at the moment. But
She thinks she would have been able to go.
Yeah, but that is a...
Siri, Guru. You do another.
it's the largest working water wheel in the British Isles, 50 foot 2 inches diameter, and it's housed inside that building there. Very unusual. And the water comes from the hills, obviously. That is absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, I don't have time to go up and inside to have a look, but there it is. There's not much time left on the visit now, but we're going to have a look at some typical quarrymen's cottages.
These were rescued from Llangrisio, probably alongside the Llyn Railway, and rebuilt here brick by brick. They are proper quarrymen's cottages, just not from this location.
Quarry workers' cottages. This looks like the standard would be from the poorest, and you walk through and you find the quarry manager's house, something like that at the end. So we're going to have a look through. Through the pecking order, as it were. And you just follow through. So, this was the quarryman's house from Llangrisio. It says in there. That's all we can see. It's the ground floor. And, I didn't give you time enough to see in there, did I? Come on. Now, according to the thing on the front, this is a house in Llanberis in 1969. Whether that means it was a quarryman's house that's been recovered and rebuilt from Llanberis, or whether this is how the quarrymen still lived in 1969, but God, it does take you back. Oh no, look, this is a well-trodden floor, this is. You've got a bathroom, yeah. Back gate with a coal hole. Mustn't pan it round too fast. Toilet, typical 1960s toilet. Well, I never. Look at that. One up, one down, but if you were on your own or just you and your wife, not bad, eh? Not bad. Just a last quick look around these works, and I'll put this camera away in the dry. I suppose really I should be filming this in the evening, but The evenings seem to be busy this time on here, so I'm going to do this now. This is this horrible day on a Wednesday in September 23 when the storm Agnes is supposed to hit the coast of North Wales, and for some reason they've decided that today they're going to make the wheel work on the pier. Though admittedly there's no wind at the moment, but it's all lighting up, and I thought I would try and capture the, in case I don't get to do it again, because this is new since last time. The trouble is I don't know how good it's going to be captured on film. The lights up in the centre, and then give it time. It will spread out around the wheel with any luck. Sorry for the shake, and atrial fibrillation makes it very difficult to hold the camera still. And I can't take a tripod on holiday with me. Here we go. Thank you, City Sightseeing. Oh, at least you know there's a tour bus here. It is a rather nice light display. Even on a dull day you can just about see them. And then they'll disappear back in the centre. Very nice. I keep saying that, don't I? It's different.